It is a great day to be a Buff fan. Let me tell you that. If you are sitting here November 21st, 2024, and you see the news drop of Julian Lewis committing to CU, you are loving life right now. But with that being said, the Buffs are still focused on their next weekly mission as they head out to Kansas, taking on the Jayhawks for another road win, hopefully continuing to keep the destiny in their hands. But with that said, we're going to break down this week's preview. Let's check it out. Colorado comes in this matchup at 8-2 on the year. Kansas at 4-6 on the year, but they found late success in the season. After going 1-5 to start, they found success in their last 5 games, being 4-1 again, going against Iowa State, beating them, and then last week beating BYU, leaving them no longer undefeated on the season. This is going to be a big confidence boost going this week against Colorado, but this team really has nothing to lose. They no longer are in contention for a Big 12 championship. They still are chasing bowl eligibility, and they are just basically looking for bragging rights. As we know, ever since Media Day, Shedeur Sanders said it himself, Colorado is everyone's Super Bowl. We saw cornerback for Kansas talking mad smack about going up against Travis Hunter, and we will see what they can produce against this offensive core of wide receivers, which is honestly the best in the nation. Kansas's win last week against BYU is not that concerning. Again, upsetting them 17-13. But with that being said, they only put up 242 yards total offense. The two losses under CU's belt against Nebraska and KSU were well into the 330s against Dylan Raiola and 430s with Avery Johnson. So they really need to up that number if they want to lock down Shedeur and keep him off the field and limit his chances of get the scoring going early for the Buffs, because this wide receiver core is so stacked. And the Buffs need to get the run game going too as well if they want to shut down this team early. As we know, Michael Welch is back in the lineup, not leading the pressure on Isaiah Augusta to get the job done on the run game and get the ground game going with stopping the run and getting it going on the defensive end. The biggest roadblock for Kansas is going to be this Buff defense, again being so dominant, leading the Big 12, and also cutting their points in half. That allowed, I think it's been 10 points allowed, cut in half since last season. Again, we're not even looking to last season, but they have done a fantastic job with Rob Livingston coming in and just dominating and changing this defense around. Again, that defensive front built by D-Lou, Sapp, and Dancy, those edge rushers, that interior has been fantastic with applying the pressure, and that staggers back to the linebackers, the secondary. We see the linebackers in Nikhai Hill-Green, Levante Bentley applying that pressure in that secondary built by Cameron Solomon-Craig. We see Shiloh Sanders. We see everyone else just step up and do their part and play their role in such a fantastic way. We know Jalen Daniels has only allowed 9 sacks, but we saw this too as well with Noah Fafita at Arizona. Only had 6 sacks on his head, but CU left that game with 7 sacks total. You know, he was a hurting unit getting out there of that game. So we can see this be a thing for the Buffs in this matchup, because this defensive line is so crazy and the defense is nothing to play with too as well. We know Travis contributes on each end of the ball as a cornerback and a wide receiver, and that's not going to change anytime soon with him in this game. This matchup isn't looking as daunting as that Utah one. And again, putting up almost 50 points on a defense that was ranked number 1 for an average day, throwing around 70+%, I think is still pretty good for Shedeur's sake. Again, he can still throw and complete for around that, even more on this defense, I'm sure for sure. With that being said, I think LeJohntay Wester will have an amazing game, as we know Travis will. And I think with having Micah back in the lineup, we will see a good complete rushing, and having the pressure taken off Isaiah will be good for the balance situation too as well. With that being said, Buffs kick off 3:30 in the afternoon at Arrowhead. We will see what happens. Tune back in for all things Buffs. I'm Taylor Svedesky.